the Lone Star Conference has been committed to excellence. What began in 1931 as a 5-team conference has grown to 18 institutions spanning 4 states. And while membership has changed, the pursuit of athletic success and academic excellence has never wavered. 119 national championships, over 2,000 All-Americans, and nearly 300 academic All-Americans. Celebrating 90 years of success, this is the Lone Star Conference.
When you choose natural gas, chocolate chip cookies get a little tastier. Homes get a little cozier. Bank accounts tend to put on some weight. Towels get fluffier. Showers stay hotter for longer. And our blue planet gets a little greener. When it comes to choosing energy that's clean and efficient, nothing else could be more American. Atmos Energy, your natural gas company.
Well, very good afternoon, or maybe even evening almost, as we start to get toward the evening hours. And welcome to West Texas A&M Buff Baseball as we get set for this evening's matchup for the Buffaloes. And again, welcome to April 1st, or April Fool's Day. When you look at the Buffalo schedule, the one thing you'll notice for the entire month of April, the schedule is probably one of the toughest they'll see toward the end of the regular Lone Star Conference. Good afternoon, or good evening, and welcome as we get set from Wilder Park for baseball action as the Buffaloes host Lubbock Christian. The Chaps make their way here up the I-27 corridor into Canyon to get set for this one this afternoon. The Buffs come in with a record of 25-5 on the season, 23-5 in Lone Star Conference play, number 5 in the country, taking on number 19 Lubbock Christian, who comes in with a 22-8 record and 20-8 overall, set for this matchup today. This is the first of a 4-game set. We'll play 1 this evening, play 2 tomorrow starting at 4 o'clock, and then, of course, on Sunday we'll wrap things up with a 1 o'clock start as all of the baseball games in the Lone Star Conference get underway at 1 o'clock on Sunday. But again, this should be a great matchup for this evening as Tyler Hardwick comes in with a record of 1-1, 478 earned run average on the season. Will start for the Chaps, while Nick Marshall comes in with a 7-0 record, 236 earned run average on the season. And again, he is set to go into these windy conditions today, set for the matchup with Lubbock Christian for this evening to lead things off. Weather is sunny right now, winds out of the north at 21 miles an hour, and of course gusting into the 30s. Game time temperature will be 57 degrees as we get set. But again, wind coming in from the north, and so kind of a blustery late afternoon, early evening here at Wilder Park in Canyon, and getting set for this one today. For the Buffaloes, as they kind of take a look at it, they start this 4-game set against the number 3 team in the Lone Star Conference, as Lubbock Christian sits in 3rd place in conference action. And then, again, the Buffs will get ready as they, right after that, will get set to go on the road next week and take on Angelo State, the number 2 team in conference play, before they take on Texas International, as I get to the right page on that, Texas International, and then they'll finish up Lone Star Conference play against the number 4 and 5 teams in the conference as they take on Texas A&M, Kingsville, and St. Edward. So the top of the order, basically, as far as the conference is scheduled, will fit West Texas A&M all set and ready to go against all these teams, but they started off tonight against Lubbock Christian. We'll come back with our starting lineups, but first we'll take this time out and be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
80 years, the Lone Star Conference has been committed to excellence. What began in 1931 as a 5-team conference has grown to 18 institutions spanning 4 states. And while membership has changed, the pursuit of athletic success and academic excellence has never wavered. 119 national championships, over 2,000 All-Americans, and nearly 300 academic All-Americans. Celebrating 90 years of success, this is the Lone Star Conference.
When you choose natural gas, chocolate chip cookies get a little tastier. Homes get a little cozier. bank accounts tend to put on some weight. Towels get fluffier. Showers stay hotter for longer. And our blue planet gets a little greener. When it comes to choosing energy that's clean and efficient, nothing else could be more American. Atmos Energy, your natural gas company.
So for the Buffaloes, as they get set for this one today, it will be Eddie Savoy at second base and will lead things off. Brian Johnson is in left field batting second. Kennedy Badgett, the catcher, is batting third. Adam Becker, the third baseman, bats fourth. Will Finning in right field bats fifth. Eric Ortiz is the first baseman. He will bat sixth. Nolan Kuhn is the designated hitter today. Nolan will bat seventh. Isaiah Madrid is the shortstop. He'll bat eighth. And Paul Whitman in center field will bat eighth. Nick Marshall is the starting pitcher for today's contest as well. And so for Lubbock Christian, it will be Eduardo Acosta lead things off in left field. George Mendozona is the third baseman. He'll bat second. And Luis Navarro will be the catcher, and he will bat third. We'll go ahead and take another timeout. Do so right after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Joints begin to fail. It's more than an inconvenience. The relentless grinding pain slows you down and can even stop you from doing the things you enjoy in life. At Physicians Surgical Hospitals, our skilled orthopedic experts are using advanced robotic surgeries to get you back to being you sooner with a less painful recovery. We're doing more than restoring joints. We're restoring lives.
Days are built on mornings, and Whataburger is built on burgers. Mornings, burgers. Morning burgers? Yeah, all right. Good thing there's a burger made just for breakfast, topped with breakfast.
The limited time breakfast burger is back at Whataburger.
In our national anthem, and you can see the flag in left center field is very windy today. Again, wind out of the north coming in at 21 miles an hour, gusting up into the 30s today. As we get set for our first pitch in tonight's contest, it will be Nick Marshall, the right-handed pitcher for the Buffaloes, who comes in with a 7-0 record on the season. He has started 8 ball games this season. He has 1 complete game. He has pitched 42 innings so far for the Buffaloes this year. He's allowed 36 hits, 16 runs, 11 of those earned, 15 walks. He has struck out 45. Batters have a .221 batting average against him, and he's hit 4 batters this season, the right-hander, as he gets set to get his final warm-up tosses in for the Buffaloes. Of course, Mr. Marshall, 6'3", 195-pound sophomore from Antigo, Wisconsin, and from Indian Hills Community College as he gets his final warm-up tosses in. He'll get set to face the batting order of Eduardo Acosta. He will lead things off for Lubbock Christian. He's a junior, batting .374 on the season. He'll be followed by George Mendozona. He is a senior playing at third base today. Mendozona is batting .374 on the season. Luis Navarro, he is the offense that makes this machine go for Lubbock Christian this season, batting in the 3 spot, the catcher, batting .387 on the season. And he has so far had 41 hits to kind of pace his club. 43, though, really for Acosta to lead things off, and then 40 for Mendozona. Batting in the cleanup spot will be Larry Aletha. He is the center fielder. He's a senior, batting .343. Mason Donahoe is a junior, batting .368. Will bat in the 5 spot. Jared Gibson, first baseman, batting .359, the sophomore. Carson Ogilvie is sophomore, batting .300. He is the shortstop. And then the right fielder, Grant Griffin, he's the senior, batting .300, as he will take care of things in the 9 spot for Lubbock Christian. For the Chaparrals, as they get set to lead things off, Acosta comes in. Again, this is his 116th at-bat this season. And so as he gets this one ready, as Nick Marshall, the big right-hander, comes in. First, or the offering is going to be low. That's going to be a ball. So Marshall taking a look in. Again, the Buffaloes in their home white uniforms with maroon numerals. Marshall in the windup pitch, swung on for a strike. So that runs the count to 2 balls and a strike. Acosta battling from the right side. Looks at a pitch that's low. That's 3-1. He'll be followed by George Mendozona. Acosta settles in ready. Batting from the right side. Takes a cut. Comes up empty, and he is out on strikes. And so a strikeout for Nick Marshall. That's out number 1. That'll bring up Mendozona. As we watch the pitch just on the outside corner here, takes a cut and comes up empty. So Mendozona makes his way up. Mendozona on the season, batting .374. Batting from the left side. First pitch is a swing, and that'll be a strike. Marshall delivers. That one's just a little low for a ball. Evens the count at 1-1. Again, sunshine, sun-splashed early evening here in Canyon, Texas. Wind out of the northwest. That's fouled off at the plate. Runs the count to 2-1, runs the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Marshall in the windup. Swung on, and that is back-to-back strikeouts for Marshall. So 2 outs here for Lubbock Christian to lead things off. Luis Navarro makes his way up. Navarro, the senior, 5'11", 195 pounds. David Chiriquí, Panama, also played at El Paso Community College, batting from the right side. Again, Navarro coming into this one, 387 on the season. He has 41 hits. Looks at a pitch on the outside corner, called for a strike. Navarro batting from the right side, close to the plate. Kind of inches up in the batter's box. It's an even stance. Catcher takes a cut, and that one's going to be out into right field, as he got a seeing eye signal between first and second. And so Luis Navarro is aboard with a single. It'll bring up Larry Letha. Letha, senior from Center Point, Texas. And again, here's the the base hit. So that one goes between first and second. So measuring his lead at first base is Navarro. Nick Marshall checks the wristband on the pitch selection as he faces Letha for the first time. That one, as they appealed first base, thought he went around, but first base umpire said not the case. So a ball for Larry Letha. Should he get aboard Mason Donahoe in the on-deck circle for the Chaparrals. Windy, you can hear it in the background. Fouled off at the plate, keeps the count even at 1-1. Marshall settles in, batting from the right side. I should say Marshall settles in, ready to go. Letha batting from the right side. That's fouled off at the plate. Runs the count to 2-1. One ball and 2 strikes. We'll change that for you. So a 1-2 count. for Nick Marshall. Just misses a little high for ball 2. Evens the count at 2-2. 2 outs here in the inning, 1 aboard. Luis Navarro over at first base. Navarro takes a couple of steps off the bag at first. Now kind of measures his lead a little more. 2-2 pitch on the way. Swung on. Slow roller hit towards short. Madrid comes up, throws it over to first in time for the putout. 6-3. So that'll take care of the top half of the first inning. No runs on 1 hit. And there was 1 left on base. No errors in the inning. After a half inning of play, we have no score here from Wilder Park in Canyon. We'll take a timeout and be back for the bottom half of the first right after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
We're there to serve, make sure we're creating a fair atmosphere for both teams, upholding the integrity of the game.
I chose to be an official. It's the best decision I've made.
In life, things aren't scripted. Games aren't pre-scripted. You know, I got into officiating because my father was an official. Officiating was part of our family life. It wasn't just the game.
Get to be outside, get to experience the game. It's so much more fun. You can get a lot out of it.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
To help me become not only a better official, but a better person.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
And it's just been wonderful.
Well, welcome back to Wilder Park as we get set for the bottom half of the first inning. For the Buffaloes, they will send Eddie Savoy, followed by Ryan Johnson and Kennedy Badgett to the plate to lead things off here in the bottom half of the first, and they will face Tyler Hardwick. Hard-throwing right-handed pitcher, comes in with a 1-1 record on the season, a 4.78 earned run average. This is his 7th game to start this season. He has appeared in 8 so far. He's pitched 32 innings. He's allowed 34 hits, 21 runs, 17 of those earned. He's walked 15, struck out 21, and batters have an average of 274 against him. He's had 3 wild pitches, and he's hit 8 batters so far this season. Tyler Hardwick, a junior from Roswell, New Mexico, and New Mexico Military Academy. Comes in ready to go, facing Eddie Savoy. Eddie Savoy, the sophomore from Montreal, Quebec. Batting from the right side, Eddie comes in with that .388 batting average. First pitch is low for a ball. So Savoy batting from the right side. Inches a little closer to home plate, looks at a pitch right at his knees for a strike. Evens the count at 1-1. Savoy on the season at .388 average. This is his 31st game to start. That one is a little low for a ball. Runs the count to 2 balls and a strike. He's had 47 hits this season. 14 of those are doubles, 2 triples, 3 home runs. As he looks at another low. Runs the count to 3-1. Tyler Hardwick, the right-hander, settles in, ready to go in the windup. Swung on, hit past the second baseman, and Savoy's aboard with a base hit. A leadoff base hit to get things going for the Buffs. And that'll bring up Ryan Johnson. Johnson batting .420 on the season. This is his 30th game to start, and you see that base hit right past the second baseman out into right center field. So Savoy will measure his lead off the bag at first base. Johnson settles in, ready to go, batting from the right side. First pitch is inside for a ball. Savoy measuring his lead off the bag at first base. Johnson settles in, ready to go. That's in there for a strike. Johnson out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, 5'11", 200-pound junior. Playing in left field. Settles in ready. Bit of an open stance. 1-1 pitch. On its way. Swung on, hit to short. A couple of bounces over to second in time for one out, and then on to first base for the 6-4-3 double play. And just like that, the Buffs have two quick outs. And so that'll head us to the number 3 batter in the lineup today. That's Kennedy Badgett. So Badgett makes his way into the batter's box. The senior out of Arvada, Colorado. Looks at a strike. 6'2", 195-pound senior. Settles in, ready. Badgett batting from the right side. Sends this one past the diving second baseman. He's aboard with a hit. So 2 outs here, 2 hits, I should say, in the inning with 2 outs. Again, Eddie Savoy led off with a single. Then Ryan Johnson hit into that 6-4-3 double play. Now Badgett on board after this hit right here, right up past the diving second baseman, trying to come up with it there. That's Caden Hensley making a dive for it, but just couldn't come up with it. So Badgett is aboard for Adam Becker, batting from the right side. Becker takes a cut, comes up empty. Down in the count, 0-1. Becker out of Midland. Settles in, ready to go, batting from the right side, 6'4", 225-pound. Junior looks at one down low. Badgett will measure his lead off the bag at first. Hardwick ready to come home with it. Pitch is swung on, and that's going to be a base hit out into right field. Let's see, Kennedy will stay at second base. That was hit into shallow right field. So back-to-back hits for the Buffaloes as Becker gets aboard. So runners at first and second for WT. And that'll bring up Will Fenning. Fenning, 6'3", 195-pound junior out of Scottsdale, Arizona, batting from the right side. Hugs home plate, gets close to it, takes a cut, sends it down the right field line. That's going to be foul and out of play, and that turns into just a long strike. So 2 aboard for the Buffaloes. Here in the top of the first, or I should say the bottom of the first, against Tyler Hardwick. Hardwick taking a long look in at his battery mate, Luis Navarro. Checks the runner at second, checks a second time, then comes home with it. That was high for a ball. So that even his count at 1-1 for Will Fenning. Should he get aboard Eric Ortiz in the on-deck circle. Fenning takes an inside-out swing, and that sends it foul once again and out of play. So that runs the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes on the junior. Fenning settles back in. The bend of those knees are really right over, almost over the plate. Check swing, they ask, and he says he did not go around, so that evens the count at 2-2. Fenning will settle back in, again batting from the right side. Runners take their lead off the bags. And the check swing comes up empty. Fenning couldn't catch up to it. That's a strikeout. And that's the third out in the inning. So no runs for the Buffaloes on 3 hits. There were no errors in the inning and 2 left on base. We have played the complete first inning here at Wilder Park. No score between WT and Lubbock Christian. We'll take a timeout, be back for the top of the second right after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
WT student athletes drink low-fat chocolate milk post-workout because it helps replenish and restore muscles quickly to their peak potential. Scientific studies suggest that the immediate benefits of low-fat chocolate milk include boosted performance, improved training, and higher recovery rates in athletes. Add low-fat chocolate milk to your post-workout routine.
Go Bucks!
Go to the top of the second inning here at Wilder Park between West Texas A&M University and Lubbock Christian. Number 5 and number 19 teams in the country doing battle here in Lone Star Conference play. And it'll be the 5, 6, and 7 batters to lead things off for Lubbock Christian. Mason Donahoe, followed by Jared Gibson and Carson Ogilvie to lead things off for the Chaparrals. And getting set to get going, Mason Donahoe facing Nick Marshall. First pitch is in there for a strike. Donahoe batting .368 on the season. He has 28 hits. Scored 9 times for the Chaps. Takes a cut and comes up empty. So an 0-2 count on Mason Donahoe. Donahoe settles back in, batting from the left side.
You just follow the pitcher.
Looks at a pitch just a little high for a ball. Runs the count to a ball and 2 strikes. Donahoe, a junior, 5'11", 190 pounds, out of Round Rock, Texas. Also Odessa Junior College, batting from the left side. Takes a cut, and he is out on strikes. That is the 3rd strikeout of the ball game for Nick Marshall. And that'll bring up Jared Gibson as we watch this cut right here and just couldn't catch up to it. So that'll bring up Jared Christian. First pitch misses for a ball. Christian batting .359 on the season. Gibson, I think I may have said Christian, but I meant Gibson. Looks at a pitch just a little low for ball 2, so a 2-0 count on Gibson. Gibson batting from the right side. Looks at a pitch high for ball 3. So the first batter, Nick Marshall, has had a little bit of difficulty with today. Jared Gibson out of Lubbock and Midland College, 6'2", 235 pounds. Gibson playing first base today, looks at a strike. So 3 balls and a strike for Gibson. Gibson settles in again, ready to bat, and that's in there for a strike as well. A nice breaking ball. That runs the count full of 3-2 on Gibson. Southmore settles in. And taking a cut, coming up empty. And here's the throw down to first base. Ortiz grabs it and steps on the bag. And so that is the second strikeout in the inning. The 4th in the ball game for Nick Marshall. So 2 outs here in the top of the 2nd. That brings up Carson Ogilvie. Sophomore out of Spring, Texas at Hill College. 5'10", 180 pounds. Ogilvie today is the shortstop. Batting from the right side. He settles in, ready to go. Marshall ready to go as well. That pitch on the outside corner there for a strike. So Ogilvie settles back in. Buffalo's playing pretty much straight away here today for Ogilvie. Shows bunt, lays it down. And that is barehanded over to first, but not in time. So Ogilvie will get aboard with a hit. So first hit of the inning, 2nd of the ball game. You watch him right here as he lays this down, disguises it nicely, then just lays it down. And nice effort to try and throw that one out by Adam Becker. Barehanded it and threw it over to first, but just not in time. So Ogilvie aboard with 2 outs here in the top of the 2nd inning. Measures his lead off the bag at first. Marshall checks him, then comes home with it. That's fouled off at the plate and out of play for Grant Griffin. Griffin with a .300 batting average on the season. Batting from the right side. That's .222 with runners in on the base pass, but only .167 with 2 outs in an inning. Drives this one down the third base line, foul and out of play. So he's behind in the count 0-2. Marshall will make his way back to the top of the hill. Ogilvie makes his way back to first base, and again looking into the sun, the setting sun here at Wilder Park. Quick throw to first. Ogilvie's back. Again, makes it difficult for those on the right side of the field with the sun. So second baseman, right fielder, battling it just a bit. This was fouled off at the plate. Keeps the count at 0-2. Should Griffin get aboard, then Caden Hensley will make his way to the plate. Griffin, a senior out of Richmond, Texas, down by Houston. Quick throw over to first. Ogilvie is in there safely. Griffin, a 5'10", 165-pound senior. Played at Wharton County Junior College. And that one's a little low for a ball. Marshall works his way back to the pitching rubber, checks the runner over at first base. Ogilvie stands on the bag before he measures his lead off once Marshall gets set. Marshall comes home with it, and that's a little blooper hit back to Marshall. Comes up with it, throws over to first base in time for the putout. So Griffin is retired 1-3 for out number 3. So we played an inning and a half, no runs for Lubbock Christian on a hit And there was one left on base. No errors in the inning. We have played 1.5. No score here from Wilder Park. We'll take a timeout and be back for the bottom half of the second right after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
J. Ferg Roofing has been protecting our community for 15 years. With more than 30,000 homes and businesses protected by our roofing work, we're proud of our ability to provide efficient, lasting solutions for your roofing needs. What makes us stand out from the competition is that we work for you with dedicated team members who guide you every step of the way. That is the J. Ferg advantage. Quality, experience, fast pass scheduling, customer rewards. We have it all. Call J. Ferg Roofing today for a free inspection. We are J. Ferg Roofing. We are more.
Well, everybody having a fun day here at Wilder Park. If you want to play pitch and catch, then this is the perfect place to do it, even with your cuddly friends from home. And so, again, no score here as we go to the bottom of the second inning. And for Lubbock Christian, Tyler Hardwick heads back to the hill to face the 6, 7, and 8 batters for the Buffaloes. Eric Ortiz, followed by Nolan Kuhn and Isaiah Madrid. Here in the bottom of the second inning, Ortiz batting from the left side. Looks at a pitch a little low for a ball. Ortiz, 291 at the plate. That pitch gets by the catcher, so that's ball 2. Eric this season, this is his 104th plate appearance. He's had 30 hits. He's scored 18 runs. He's driven in 31. Drives this one towards second base, but first baseman comes up with it, throws it over to Hardwick for the 3-1 put out of Eric Ortiz. And that's out number 1. That'll bring up Nolan Kuhn, the designated hitter for today. Nolan, 6'3", 195-pound sophomore out of Antigua, Wisconsin, batting from the left side. Nolan comes up with that .385 batting average. This is his 27th plate appearance, right back toward the pitcher and right up the middle for a base hit. So Kuhn drives that one right back up the middle. That's the 4th hit for the Buffaloes in this one so far today. That's one where you watch the pitcher. Hardwick just jumped kind of out of the way. I thought it might have hit his foot, but it just went. He was able to get out of the way as that goes right up the middle, out into center field. So a nice, sharp hit for Nolan Kuhn. That brings up Isaiah Madrid, batting from the right side. Isaiah settles in, ready to go. Isaiah takes a cut, comes up empty for strike 1. Isaiah out of El Paso, Texas, 5'10", 165-pound senior. Playing shortstop today, settles in, batting from the right side. Looks at a breaking ball that comes in there for a strike. What's the count? 2-0-2 on Madrid. Isaiah 242 at the plate this season. This is his 63rd at bat. Fouls this one off at the plate. Protects home plate, keeps the count at 0-2. Madrid with a .306 slugging percentage. .294 with runners on base. Kind of tightens up, opens that stance up at home plate. Looks at a pitch down in the dirt. Nolan Kuhn stays over at first base. Runs the count to 1-2 for Isaiah Madrid. Paul Whitman in the on-deck circle. Kuhn measures his lead at first base. That pitch misses for ball 2. So Madrid fights his way back to even the count at 2-2. Again, shadows creeping in on the infield. Hardwick takes a long look in, now settles on the pitch that Navarro wants him to throw. That's hit right towards the second baseman, has it. Underhands over to second in time for 1, and in time at first base on the 4-6-3 double play. So no runs on 1 hit. No errors in the inning, and no one left on base as we have played 2 complete. No score between Lubbock Christian and West Texas A&M. We'll get ready for the top of the 3rd, but first we'll take this time out and be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Just completed my academic courses, so now I am starting my research at West Texas A&M University, trying to find out the export of sorghum from United States to China. I cannot express properly how helpful they are. I am proud to be a WT student.
Apply to West Texas A&M University right now at wtamu.edu/apply.
We head to the top of the 3rd as we get set to go. Good crowd on hand for this one today. A little bit blustery, but other than that, not a bad April Fool's Day, April 1st, as we get, like we said in the pregame, this will be the tough stretch for WT over the next 30 days. And they started off right here with Lubbock Christian as Lubbock Christian gets ready to lead things off. Caden Hensley to start things out here in the top of the 3rd. Hensley out of Lubbock. First pitch from Marshall in there for a ball. Hensley batting in the 9 spot today. He'll be followed by the top of the order, Edward Acosta and George Mendozano. That pitch is in there for a strike on Caden Hensley. Evens the count at 1-1. Caden out of Lubbock and went to Midland College. He is a 5'10", 175-pound junior, batting from the left side. Hensley with a .304 batting average, takes a cut and comes up empty. Hensley settles back in, ready to go. Takes another cut, and that gets away from the catcher. Kennedy throws it down, lets it bounce to the first baseman. As that is a strikeout for out number 1, and that is the 5th strikeout of the ball game for Nick Marshall. Top of the 3rd inning, we go to the top of the order. Edward Acosta, who was a strikeout victim back in the 1st. Acosta batting .371. Batting from the right side, settles in, ready to go. And he drives this one right up the middle, right back at Marshall. And so Edward Acosta's aboard with a hit. First pitch swinging, sends it right back toward the right-hander. That'll bring up George Mendozano. Mendozano out of Redmond, Oregon, and Oregon State University. 6 foot, 185-pound senior. Batting from the left side, Mendozona with a .370 batting average. He swings at the first pitch, and that's driven out into right field, so that'll have runners at the corners. As here's the throw into second base. So both batters taking the first pitch offering from Marshall. So Mendozona on at first base with back-to-back hits. And Acosta rounds his way to third. So the first threat in the ball game for Lubbock Christian, and that'll bring up Luis Navarro. Navarro batting from the right side, settles back in. Luis aboard with a single, his first at bat. So runners at the corner. First pitch is in there for a strike. Navarro settles back in, closed stance. Runners take their lead on the corner. This is going to be popped up out into right field, battling the sun. Fenning goes back and goes up, but he can't pull that one in, and that is going to be a 3-run shot for Luis Navarro. As Navarro able to get a hold of that and give it a ride out into right field. So Lubbock Christian strikes first, and they take the early 3-0 lead on 3 hits in a row on Nick Marshall. As we watch here on this one, and he just gave it a ride out to right field. Fenning gives chase, tries to get under it, but it just had too much lift as that cleared the right field fence. Here's a bunch shown. That's going to be a foul for Larry Letha. So Larry, who grounded out to the shortstop back in the first inning, settles back in ready to go from the right side. Letha takes a cut and sends that one foul. So no 2 count on Larry Letha, senior out of Center Point, Texas. Takes a cut, and he'll head to the sideline as he is another strikeout victim. That's out number 2 here in the 3rd inning, and that's the 6th strikeout for Nick Marshall. You can see Letha takes a cut, and that one just right at the waistband. Just couldn't catch up to it. Going to bring on Mason Donahoe, the DH who struck out his last at bat, takes a cut, comes up fouling that one away. So Donahoe down in the count, 0-1. So it's either feast or famine here in the top of the 3rd. 2 strikeouts for 2 outs here in the inning. But 3 hits, including a 3-run home run, and there's a strike. So Donahoe down in the count, 0-2. Donahoe settles back in, ready to go, batting from the left side. Pitches outside for a ball. Should Donahoe get aboard, Jared Gibson in the on-deck circle, the first baseman for the Chaps. Check swing, they're going to peel, and they say he is out on strikes as third base umpire made that call. So 3 outs via the strikeout in the inning, but 3 runs for Lubbock Christian as they got 3 runs on 3 hits. No errors in the inning and no one left on base. We have played 2.5. Lubbock Christian with a 3-0 lead. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd. But first we'll take this time out on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
We are Carpet Tech, and we are family. More than carpet cleaners, we're a team. Diving right in, not afraid to invest in our work and each other. We're killing it day in and day out, never shrinking from a challenge. Our people are 1 part passion, 1 part grit, and about a zillion parts awesome. And we are always looking to add to our family. So what are you waiting for?
For 90 years, the Lone Star Conference has been committed to excellence. What began in 1831 as a 5-team conference has grown to 18 institutions spanning 4 states. And while membership has changed, the pursuit of athletic success and academic excellence has never wavered. 119 national championships, over 2,000 All-Americans, and nearly 300 academic All-Americans. Celebrating 90 years of success, this is the Lone Star Conference.
Welcome back to Walter Park as we get set for the bottom of the 3rd inning. Lubbock Christian with a 3-0 lead over West Texas A&M. Lubbock Christian 3 runs on 5 hits. They got 3 hits in the top half of the 3rd, 3 through singles and then a 3-run home run from Navarro. That's what plates their 3 runs on the scoreboard. For the Buffaloes, it'll be Paul Whitman, who will make his way to lead things off. Whitman, the freshman from Tangenham, Germany, looks at a strike. Paul coming into this one, batting .333 on the season. This is his 58th at bat. Now he looks at a strike there as well. So Paul down in the count 0-2 as Tyler Hardwick kind of getting in rhythm right now. This was going to be a slow grounder up the middle to second base on in time for the putout, 4-3, as Whitman tried to beat that one out but just could not get down there fast enough on the nice throw from Hensley. As we watch this one hit towards the second baseman, Hensley comes up with it, gloves it over to first in time, just about a half step ahead of Paul Whitman. We go back to the top of the order, Eddie Savoy, who Eddie looks at a strike. He got a board in the first on a single. Eddie batting .393. That pitch is low for a ball, evens the count at 1-1. Savoy to be followed by Ryan Johnson. Savoy batting from the right side, looks at a pitch low for ball 2. So 2 balls and a strike for Savoy as Hardwick working quicker here. This one's fouled down the right field line. That evens the count at 2 apiece. Bottom of the 3rd inning. Lubbock Christian getting 3 runs in the top of the 3rd to lead 3-0. Savoy looks at one in the dirt, so that runs the count full at 3-2. Getting shadows crouching on the entire infield here at Wilder Park. Savoy drives this one foul down the first base line. Keeps the count at 3-2. Tyler Hardwick getting ready for his 32nd pitch of the ball game. That's fouled off at the plate. Hardwick. The junior out of Roswell, New Mexico, has really settled down nicely here. He's given up 4 hits, but really nothing that's hurt him in the first inning. He gave up 3 of those hits. That one's hit toward the first baseman and gloves it on one hop and gets it and goes over and touches the bag at first. Nice play by Jared Gibson for the out. So Savoy is retired, 3 unassisted for out number 2. And that'll bring up Ryan Johnson, who grounded into a double play. His first at bat, the 6-4-3. So he hit it toward the shortstop. The pitch is going to be inside and tight for a ball. Johnson, batting from the right side, drives this one out into right center field, giving chase, and that one may be out of here as well as that got in the wind. So Ryan Johnson comes through with a solo home run and gets the Buffs on the scoreboard here in the bottom of the third inning. Both home runs so far in the ball game hit about the same spot out in right field, right center. So the Buffs now trail by 2. 3-1, thanks to Ryan Johnson coming up with that one, and that'll bring Kennedy Badgett to the plate, and you can watch him swing on that one as he drives that out into right center field and just got up in the wind a little bit. And again, the wind kind of blowing. It's out of the north, but it is kind of swirling a bit more out of the northwest, so that's what's taking it to right field. And that one hits the catcher, Kennedy Badgett, as he runs down to first base. So that's been one of the things for Tyler Hardwick that he's kind of worked through this year. That is his 9th batter that he's hit so far this season. That'll bring up Adam Becker. So 2 outs. The Buffs get a home run from Ryan Johnson. Kennedy Badgett is aboard on a hit batsman, and that'll bring up Adam Becker. Good breaking ball. It's Becker out in front of that one. And that comes up as a strike. Runs the count to 0-1 on Adam. Becker 451 at the plate this season. Drives this one out to center field. And that one giving chase and circling under it and able to come up with it. A nice play by Aletha, as he was able to get around and pull that one in on a nice shot by Adam Becker, but it's a long fly out to center field. But the Buffs do get a run on 1 hit. There were no errors in the inning and 1 left on base. We have played 3 complete. Lubbock Christian with a 3-1 lead over West Texas A&M. We'll take a timeout. We'll do so and come back with the top of the 4th right after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
This is a walk-on athlete. They train longer, put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons. We live for this.
We go to the top of the 4th inning in a 3-1 ball game. Lubbock Christian with the lead. They got 3 runs in the top of the 3rd on 3 hits. One of those a 3-run home run from Luis Navarro. That gave him Lubbock Christian, the 3-0 lead. Buffs answered back in the bottom of the 3rd on a Ryan Johnson solo home run shot. So we go to the top of the 4th. Jared Gibson will lead things off. Gibson batting .356 for Lubbock Christian this season. Settles in, bats from the right side. Gibson a strikeout victim back in the 2nd inning. First pitch from Marshall swung on. It's one of the things you've noticed a little bit about Lubbock Christian on their second go-round. Facing Nick Marshall, they're swinging at the first pitch. It's being offered up. Gibson settles in, again batting from the right side. Misses inside for a ball.
Okay, maybe it's just where you're at. One ready? Three ready?
So Gibson, Carson Ogilvie, and Grant Griffin to lead things off here in the fourth for Chaparrals. Swung on, and that's going to be a strike for Gibson. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gibson, a sophomore, batting from the right side, settles in ready to go. Nick Marshall. And that is going to be swung on, and again, Kennedy Badgett bounces it to first base for the out. So another strikeout for Nick Marshall for out number 1. That is his 7th strikeout of the ball game. So Carson Ogilvie settles in, batting from the right side. First pitch is a strike. Lubbock Christian 3 runs on 5 hits. They've left 2 on base today. The Buffs 1 run on 5 hits. They've left 3 on base. Ogilvie sends this out to shallow right center field, and gliding over there to make the put out for the Buffaloes is Paul Whitman, who glides his way over there to pull that one in. So nice little sprint over by Whitman to get out number 2. That'll bring up Grant Griffin, who grounded out to the pitcher his last at bat. Looks at a strike on the outside corners. That one takes a curve. Looks like it's coming on the inside and breaks to the outside part of the plate. So Griffin down the count 0-1 here in the top of the 4th. Takes a swing, comes up empty for strike 2. Griffin slowly works his way back in. Nick Marshall checks the wristband on the pitch the coaches are asking him to throw. And taking a swing, coming up empty, as that'll be a strikeout for the 3rd out in the inning. So a 1-2-3 inning for the Buffs. In that one, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody on base. We have played 3.5 as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. The Buffs trail Lubbock Christian 3-1. We'll take a timeout. Be back on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network right after this.
This is what a new heart valve looks like. This is what a bypassed artery looks like. And this is what a repaired aortic aneurysm looks like. The BSA Heart and Vascular Team is here to help you live life to the fullest. From our state-of-the-art cardiac technologies to our dedicated heart specialists, our goal is to help you take the very best care of your heart so you can enjoy everything else that matters to you. BSA for life.
Well, welcome back to Wilder Park. Again, the Buffaloes, the 2021 Lone Star Conference champions, is displayed out in their outfield this season. Right now, they lead the Lone Star Conference with a 23-5 record, 25-5 overall, number 5 ranking in the country. But they trail number 19, Lubbock Christian, 3-1 here at the bottom of the 4th. Tyler Hardwick working here in the 4th inning, getting ready for his 45th pitch. He'll face Will Fenning to lead things off. Fenning struck out his first at bat. Sends this one right up the middle for a base hit. First pitch swinging. So Fenning gets aboard with a single. And that'll bring up Eric Ortiz. So Fenning not wasting any time. First offering from Tyler Hardwick, driven right back up the middle As we watch this first pitch offering and driven right back toward the pitcher. Nice hard shot out into center field. So that has Will Finning aboard with a single. Ortiz looks at a ball. Eric, in his first at bat, hit to the first baseman, I should say. He was thrown out 3-1 on a play over by Hardwick, who made his way over to first. This one's hit towards the shortstop. Backhands it over to second in time for one, and then Ortiz is out for the 6-4-3 double play. And that has been the friend of Tyler Hardwick today, as Lubbock Christian has turned 3 double plays in this one today. You watch this one sharply to the shortstop. Backhands it, gets it over to second, on into first in time for the putout. And so they'll bring up Nolan Kuhn, who got aboard on a single his first at bat. Then he too was in a double play back in the second inning. So really, other than the third, every inning, Lubbock Christian has had a double play to help Tyler Hardwick out on the hill. So Nolan Kuhn heading the count 2-0. Batting from the left side, Nolan looks at a strike on a breaking ball. Kuhn out of Yukon, Oklahoma. The 5'10", 185-pound sophomore batting from the left side. Takes a cut and comes up empty. So Nolan evens the count at 2s across the top of the scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Batting .407, Nolan settles back in, ready to go. Calls time. Wants to reset just a little bit. Hardwick. This one's hit towards the second baseman as Hensley comes up, throws it over to first in time for the 4-3 put out for out number 3. So for the Buffs, no runs, 1 hit. There were no errors in the inning and nobody left on base. We have played 4 complete. Lubbock Christian with the 3-1 lead over West Texas A&M. We'll take a timeout, be back for the top of the 5th right after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
This is a walk-on athlete. They train longer, put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Lubbock Christian with a 3-1 lead over West Texas. So we go to the top of the 5th. You check out their dugout as the Chaparrals in front here, thanks to the 3-run third inning that they had, where they had back-to-back hits, followed by a 3-run Luis Navarro home run. And first pitch for Caden Hensley. In there for a strike. Hensley, who struck out back in the 3rd. That pitch gets away from Kennedy Badgett. So that evens the count at 1-1 here in the top of the 5th. So it'll be Hensley, followed by Edward Acosta and George Mendozano. Just misses on the outside corner for a ball. 2 balls and a strike for Hensley. Hensley batting .300 on the season. Looks at ball 3. Marshall getting ready for his 60th pitch here in the ball game, the top of the 5th. That's in there for a strike as Hensley was taking all the way. It evens the count, or I should say runs the count full at 3-2. Hensley batting from the left side, ready to go. Marshall comes home with it, and that is strike 3 as Hensley is out for out number 1. That'll bring up Edward Acosta as we watch this punch out here on Hensley. Again, Marshall with his 8th strikeout right on the inside corner. Marshall with 2 strikeouts in the first, 2 in the second, 3 in the third. That's a strike on the outside corner to Acosta. 2 in the 4th. Now 1 here in the 5th. Here's a grounder hit back toward Eddie Savoy on 1 hop over to first. In time for the putout as Acosta is retired 4-3 for out number 2. That'll bring up George Mendozano. Mendozano got a single back in the 3rd and came around to score. Struck out back in the 1st inning. Georgia batting from the left side, settles in, ready to go. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. 3-1, Lubbock Christian with the lead. Outside misses for a ball. Third baseman, a senior from Redmond, Oregon. Drives this one out into left or to center field, and that's going to fall in there for a base hit. So, a single with 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. It's a runner aboard for Lubbock Christian, and that brings up Luis Navarro as we watch this hit. Kind of a pop-up over the second baseman's head out into shallow right center field. So the 6th hit for Lubbock Christian against Nick Marshall today. 3 runs on 6 hits. Navarro settles in, ready to go. Looks at a strike. Navarro, who is 2 for 2 at the plate today. He had a single back in the 1st and then that 3-run home run in the 3rd. Batting .398. Set a pitch on the outside part of the plate for a ball. And evens the count at 1-1. Nick Marshall, who gets this one just a little low on the inside part of the plate, runs the count to 2 balls and a strike. Strikeouts for Marshall, but trailing 3-1 right now. That one's fouled off at the plate. Runs the count to 2-2 on Navarro. Navarro, a 5'11", 195-pound senior out of Panama. Batting from the right side, quick throw to first, diving back on the bag. Mendozona able to get back in time. Navarro settles back in, batting from the right side. That's going to be driven out into right center field, and that one is back, and that is gone. Back-to-back home runs for Luis Navarro as he pushes the Lubbock Christian lead to 5-1. 5 RBIs for Navarro on the day, as he is able to take that offering back basically the same place he did back in the third inning. As Navarro able to just drive that one as we watch on the replay here. Again, same swing and same output from before, this time a 2-run home run over the right center field fence. So all 5 runs for Lubbock Christian via the bat of Navarro, and then hitting this one out into left center field and giving chase and sliding over to make that one a nice one by Paul Whitman as he's able to get under deep left center field. First pitch swinging by Larry Letha. So he flies out to center field for out number 3, but not again before Navarro does damage on a 2-run home run. So 2 runs on 2 hits. No errors in the inning and 1 left on base, or no one I should say left on base, as we complete 4.5. Lubbock Christian in front 5-1 over West Texas A&M. We'll take a timeout, be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Choosing the right countertops for your kitchen can be tricky. Nowadays, there are hundreds of colors, patterns, and textures and materials that range from natural to engineered stone. Marble Depot is here for you throughout every step of the process. And yes, we do have a lot of options that might make that decision a little harder, but we're also going to ask the right questions so that you get the most out of your investment. So come by our showroom and let us help create what you've been dreaming of.
Well, the catcher for Lubbock Christian is 3 of 3 at the plate today. He's accounted for all 5 of their runs on a 3-run home run in the third and a 2-run home run in the fifth. And they lead West Texas A&M 5-1 here in the first of a 4-game set at Wilder Park.
Number 0, Isaiah Madrid.
And the Buffs will lead things off here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Isaiah Madrid, who hit into a 4-6-3 double play. His first at bat back in the 2nd inning. First pitch swing comes up empty. So Isaiah's down in the count 0-1. Tyler Hardwick working here in the 5th. Allowed 1 run on 6 hits. Looks at a pitch outside for ball 1. So Madrid 1-1. Gets set, ready to go. Swung on and hit towards the third baseman. And gloving that, and on 1 hop is Mendozona. And Madrid is out 5-3 for out number 1. That'll bring up Paul Whitman, as Whitman, who grounded out to the second baseman, his first at bat back in the 3rd inning. Comes up to face Tyler Hardwick for the 2nd time. Whitman batting from the left side, settles in. First pitch outside for a ball. Whitman, 328 at the plate. Looks at a pitch low for ball 2. So Hardwick, with the 5-1 lead, settles in, ready to go. That's driven past the shortstop, diving, as Paul Whitman is aboard on a single. And so we head to the top of the order. Eddie Savoy will make his way up. As we watch the Whitman hit right here as he takes this one diving at short, trying to come up with it. It was Ogilvy, but just could not get a glove on it. So that one just sneaks by him. So Savoy, who is 1 for 2 at the plate today, looks at one low and inside for a ball. Ryan Johnson in the on-deck circle for the Buffaloes. Time taken is that time Navarro, the catcher, didn't like the set on that one. Hardwick ready. Pitch is low for a ball. So Savoy ahead in the count 2-0. Whitman measures his lead at first base. It's going to be fouled and out of play down the right field line. So 2 balls and a strike for Paul Savoy. Southmore from Montreal settles in, batting from the right side. Quick throw over to first base. Diving back is Whitman. Hardwick. It's the inside corner for a strike. So that evens the count at 2-2 on Savoy. Hardwick with a long look in, throws that on the inside. In fact, that hit Savoy. So Savoy hit by a pitch. Second one in the ball game. So he'll head down to first base. Paul Whitman will make his way to second base. And that'll bring up Ryan Johnson. Ryan Johnson, 1 for 2 at the plate today. Hit into a 6-4-3 double play back in the first, but had that solo home run shot in the third. It's going to prompt a visit by the catcher, Luis Navarro, to go out and visit with Tyler Hardwick. No action in the Lubbock bullpen as of yet. No action in either bullpen. Both right-handers going at it. I think this is just where Navarro wants to make sure he and the pitcher are on the same page on their signals with runners aboard. First runner at second base for the Buffaloes today. Every time WT's got somebody aboard, or I should say not every time, but they've hit into a double play. Now 2 aboard for the Buffs. Johnson looks at a strike. So Johnson down on the count, 0-1. Hardwick ready for his 63rd pitch. And they're going to appeal down to first and say he did not go around. So that evens the count at 1-1. Buffs 1 run on 7 hits. With Christian 5 runs on 7 hits. It's going to be fouled off at the plate for a strike. So 1 ball and 2 strikes for Ryan Johnson. Johnson settles back in, ready to go, batting from the right side. Inches up in the batter's box. Calls time as I think Hardwick's taking too much time. So he'll set back out and reset himself. Johnson ready to go. 1-2 pitch on the way. That's swung on and driven foul and out of play. Keeps the count at 1-2. Johnson settles back in. And that hits him, and so that loads the bases. It's the third hit batsman. Back-to-back for the Buffs. So 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. That'll bring Kennedy Badgett to the plate. Kennedy has singled and was hit by a pitch. Kennedy batting .356. Gets ready to stand in facing Tyler Hardwick. First pitch inside, misses for a ball. Adam Becker in the on-deck circle. Badgett settles in, ready to go. That's going to be fouled out of play. So 1-1 count on Kennedy Badgett. Playing him pretty well straight away. Wind still gusty out of the northwest. That is driven out into left field. That'll play at least a couple of runs for the Buffaloes. Here's the throw in, and Kennedy Badgett on a 2-run single as he plates 2. As Paul Whitman comes in to score, and so too does Eddie Savoy. It cuts the lead to 5-3.
Adam Becker.
And that'll bring up Adam Becker. There's 2 hits for Kennedy Badgett. Plates 2 runs. And here in the 5th, the bottom of the 5th, cuts the Chaparrals lead to 5-3. Adam Becker, who has singled and flown out to center field today. First pitch swinging comes up empty on a good breaking pitch. It's kind of faded away from the Buff third baseman. He couldn't catch up to it. Adam settles back in. Fouls this one off at the plate. So he's behind in the count 0-2. So Tyler Hardwick ready to go. And so too is Adam Becker as he settles in. Big open stance, batting from the right side. Sends this one to the second baseman on one hop. It's a low throw, and they're able to get the runner at second base. So Kennedy Badgett is out on a fielder's choice there. So he is out number 2. He is out 4-6. And Adam Becker aboard at first. Ryan Johnson over at third. So Will Finning comes up. Will batting from the right side. Single and strikeout victim. Pitch is high and tight for a ball. Last pitch, Finning was first pitch swinging and sent it right back up the middle at Tyler Hardwick. Finning settles in, ready to go. Sends this one to the shortstop. He's able to get it on one hop, throws it over to first, and that is in time for the putout. Nice play by Carson Ogilvie as he makes a diving stop on that hit from Will Finning. As Finning is retired 6-3 for out number 3. The Buffaloes do get 2 runs as we watch the instant replay here, as this one is sharply hit towards the shortstop who comes up throwing and just by half a step able to get Will Finning out at first base on the 6-3 putout. So for the Buffaloes, 2 runs, and they got that on 2 hits. There were no errors in the inning and 2 left on base. We have played 5 innings. And Lubbock Christian has a 5-3 lead over the Buffs. We'll take a timeout, be back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Joints begin to fail. It's more than an inconvenience. The relentless grinding pain slows you down and can even stop you from doing the things you enjoy in life. At Physicians Surgical Hospitals, our skilled orthopedic experts are using advanced robotic surgeries to get you back to being you sooner with a less painful recovery. We're doing more than restoring joints. We're restoring lives.
Days are built on mornings, and Whataburger is built on burgers. Mornings, burgers. Morning burgers? Yeah, all right. Good thing there's a burger made just for breakfast, topped with breakfast.
The limited time breakfast burger is back at Whataburger.
Top of the 6th. It'll be the 5, 6, and 7 batters for Lubbock Christian as Mason Donahoe will lead things off. First pitch is inside for a ball. Donahoe has struck out twice today. Settles in, batting from the left side. That pitch misses low for a ball. So 2-0 the count for Mason Donahoe. Donahoe batting from the left side. Junior out of Round Rock, slow roller, that's foul for a ball. Donahoe settles back in, batting from the left side. Bunt is shown, hit back to Marshall. Marshall up in time to first base as Donahue is retired 1-3 for out number 1. Only problem really Nick Marshall's had today has been facing Luis Navarro, who is 3 for 3 and has driven in all 5 runs for Lubbock Christian. Other than that, there's 10 strikeouts in the ball game. Brings up Jared Gibson. First pitch fouled off at the plate. Jared has also struck out twice. Gibson batting from the right side. Sophomore from Lubbock, Texas. Takes a swing at an off-speed pitch. Out in front of that just a bit. Couldn't hold the bat back enough. He's down in the count 0-2. This is going to be hit out into right center field. Paul Whitman giving chase, and he lost it in the lights, as that's going to be a hit for Jared Gibson. Bring up Carson Ogilvie. We got a board on a bunt. So we watch this one. Gibson on a kind of a breaking ball. Again, Whitman just lost it in the lights more than anything else as that bounced in front of him. So Ogilvie got a board on a single, flew out to center field. Back in the fourth. Up for his third offering today and drives this one towards the shortstop and got past Madrid as he made a diving attempt at it, just couldn't come up with it. Gibson will make his way to third as Ogilvie is aboard on a hit. And that'll bring up Grant Griffin, who struck out and grounded out today. And you watch this one, it's kind of a slow roller, but a long way to go for Madrid. Just couldn't get to it. And runners at the corner now for Lubbock Christian with Ogilvie at first and Gibson at third. Grant Griffin, good for his first hit, shows bunt. And trying to make a play on that one was third baseman Adam Becker. Just couldn't really get a clean glove on the ball as he tried to come up with it. And that plates a run for Lubbock Christian. As you watch right here, bunt is laid down and just trying to come up with it to make a tag, a sweeping tag or something, just unable to do so. As Gibson comes home and pushes the lead to 6-3 for Lubbock Christian. As Griffin gets aboard on a fielder's choice. There's a strike for Caden Hensley. Hensley struck out twice today. Hensley, the junior out of Lubbock, batting from the left side, ready to go. Takes a cut, comes up empty, down in the count 0-2. So one out, one aboard, one has come home for Lubbock Christian. Runners at first and second. Hensley pops this one up out of play. Keeps the count at 0-2. Eduardo Acosta in the on-deck circle. That misses on the inside part of the plate for a ball. So it runs the count to 1-2. Hensley settles back in, ready to go from the left side. Marshall gets the pitch he wants. It's going to be high for a ball. 2-2. So Oglesby at second, Grant Griffin at first. Caden Hensley with a 2-2 count. And that is a strikeout.
That's a Scarborough Specialties.
The 11th strikeout of the ball game for Nick Marshall. Now to bring up Edward Acosta.
The plate number 8, Eduardo Acosta.
So Acosta batting .373, who has singled and scored a run, struck out, and has grounded out 4-3. Comes up for his fourth at bat. Off-speed pitch caught him looking for a strike. Eduardo upset a little bit just because he saw that one late. Costa out of San Germán, Puerto Rico. Junior ready to go. Check swing on that one. And they're saying ball one. So 1-1 count on Acosta. Eduardo betting from the right side. Off-speed pitch has him out in front. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jordan Mendozon on the on-deck circle. 2 outs, a run has come across here in the top of the 6th inning. Lubbock Christian reads this one 6-3. That's high for a ball. Evens the count at 2-2. Marshall getting ready for his 92nd pitch of the ball game. Checks the runner at second, then comes home with it. It's going to be popped up and out of play. Count stays 2-2. Goes through with a .373 batting average. But it drops with 2 outs to 188. Sends this one towards the shortstop on 2 hops, but Rick gets it over to second base in time to Savoy for the putout. 6-4. So a run comes across on 1 hit. Check it on 2 hits in the inning. There were 2 left on base, no errors in the inning. And so we've played 5.5. We go to the bottom of the 6th. The Buffs trailing to Lubbock Christian 6-3. We'll take a timeout. We'll do so. We'll be back for the bottom of the 6th right after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
It's got the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of, and now it's here. First Financial Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly, local approval. It's service that just comes naturally to us, much like a loving tradition comes naturally to you. First Financial Bank, you first. Member FDIC.
Welcome to MediDrive Pharmacy, Canyon's hometown pharmacy for over 32 years. We greet you by name, and our pharmacists take the time to counsel you and answer all your questions. Our Health Mart Pharmacy specializes in serving our community with fast, friendly, professional service and the highest quality medicines and health products. We accept most insurance plans, including Medicaid and Medicare, and we offer free in-town delivery to your home or business. Come visit us for all your healthcare needs.
So Tyler Hardwick has been supported by some good offense, primarily from his battery mate, Luis Mendoza today. Luis Navarro today. Is Luis 3 for 3 at the plate, including 2 home runs, and has driven in 5. Lubbock Christian leads this one 6-3. And for Hardwick, he'll face the 6th, 7th, and 8th batters for the Buffaloes. Eric Ortiz will lead things off. Eric is 0 for 2 at the plate today as he's grounded out to the first baseman back in the 2nd and hit it into a 6-4-3 double play back in the 4th. Set a strike there for an 0-1 count for Ortiz. Pitch just misses high for a ball. Tyler Hardwick, who pitching here into the bottom of the 6th inning, pitched 5 innings, allowed 8 hits, 3 runs, all 3 earned runs. Struck out 1, allowed 1 home run. Getting ready for his 76th pitch, and that's strike 3 right there. Ortiz taking on that one. And so he becomes his second strikeout victim of the ball game. As we watch the replay on this one, just had him frozen on that one. He thought it was going to break away, and it didn't. So Ortiz is out number one. Then to bring up Nolan Kuhn. Nolan is singled and has grounded out. First pitch swinging, drives that out into right center field. Kuhn rounds first, heads his way to second base. And he's going to stand up at second base with a double. So Kuhn, a bit of a hot bat. Nolan able to connect his second hit of the ball game. As you watch this one from Nolan, boom. That breaking pitch just didn't break enough, and Kuhn drives that out to right center field on a hard knock. That'll bring up Isaiah Madrid. 234 at the plate. The runners on base hitting 286. First pitch is high from Tyler Hardwick. His action in the Lubbock bullpen. A couple of different guys warming up for the Chaparrals. Again, they lead this one 6-3. Off-speed pitch on the inside part of the plate. Did not break the edge of the plate. Runs the count to 2-0 for Isaiah Madrid. Again, Isaiah 0 for 2 at the plate today. This is his third at bat. Another breaking pitch that just misses on the inside for ball 3. So Madrid ahead in the count 3-0. Paul Whitman behind him in the on-deck circle for the Buffaloes. Madrid ready, takes a look at a pitch that's in the inner part of the plate for a strike. So 3 balls and a strike for Isaiah. Madrid out of El Paso settles in ready to go. Big open stance for Isaiah. Time called. Hardwick working here in the 6th inning. Nolan Kuhn aboard at second base with 1 out. That pitch is low for a ball, and that's the first walk of the ball game for either pitcher. Madrid makes his way down to first base.
At bat number 32, Paul Whitman.
That'll bring up Paul Whitman. He has singled and scored back in the 4th, or back in the 5th, and grounded out to the second baseman back in the 3rd. Whitman batting .339, batting from the left side. Third opportunity here, and he looks at a strike. Whitman settles in, ready to go. Runners at first and second for the Buffs with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. That pitch misses for a ball. And even his count at 1-1. Whitman, the 6', 200-pound freshman, batting from the left side. Set a pitch outside for a ball. So 2 balls and a strike. Runners take their lead at first and second. Kuhn over at second base. That's driven down the left field line, foul and out of play. So that evens the count at 2-2. Whitman to be followed by Eddie Savoy. So the 2-2 pitch from Tyler Hardwick, his 86th offering of the ball game. Is hit towards the shortstop and past him for a base hit. One run will come across for the Buffaloes. Oh no, that run did not come across as Whitman is tagged out on a nice throw from the left fielder, Eduardo Acosta, who picks that one up and came up gunning and was able to get to Navarro as Kuhn is called out. As he is thrown out 7-2 for out number 2. And that may be all for Tyler Hardwick as we watch this one on the instant replay. Nice hit. This one's past the shortstop. Kuhn did not hesitate, but the left fielder was playing up in and got that one in. Kuhn thought he slid under the tag, but not the case. So a quick meeting on the mound is just to make sure how Tyler Hardwick fields. And that brings Eddie Savoy up to the plate. So runners at first and second. Whitman out at first. Madrid is over at second base. First pitch is in there for a strike for Savoy. Savoy, who was hit by a pitch and scored his last at bat, grounded out to the third baseman back in the third and got a board on a single back in the first. And this one is a single lifted out into center field. Here comes the center fielder up throwing, and that's going to be an out at the plate again as the Buffs gambling, trying to get around on that one, but Madrid is thrown out from the center fielder. 8-2 for out number 3. So the Buffs had their chances and just unable to capitalize. This is a nice hit out into center field, but credit Larry Oletha as he comes up throwing on a strike to the catcher and got the glove down in front of Isaiah Madrid as he tried to come around to score and just could not. So no runs for the Buffaloes on no hits in the inning. There were no errors and there were 2 left on base. We have played 6 complete and the Buffs trail to Lubbock Christian 6-3. We're back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
This is what a new heart valve looks like. This is what a bypassed artery looks like. And this is what a repaired aortic aneurysm looks like. The BSA Heart and Vascular Team is here to help you live life to the fullest. From our state-of-the-art cardiac technologies to our dedicated heart specialists, our goal is to help you take the very best care of your heart so you can enjoy everything else that matters to you. BSA for life.
So we head to the top of the 7th inning as the Buffaloes trail in this one 6-3 and up at the plate. Mendozona for Lubbock Christian. George settles in for another opportunity to face Nick Marshall. Got a board on 2 singles. He is 2 for 3 at the plate today. He's also a strikeout victim. Mendozona batting from the left side. Getting ready for the 1-1 pitch. That's going to be dribbled past the first baseman for a strike. And Luis Navarra in the on-deck circle, who is 3 for 3, including 2 home runs today. And Zota settles in, ready to go. That's going to be high for a ball. Evens the count at 2-2. Top of the 7th, Lubbock Christian leads it 6-3. Again, Lubbock Christian 22-8 on the season, 20-8. The Lone Star Conference play, the Buffs 25-5, 23-5 in LSC play. That misses for a ball. Mendozona runs the count full at 3-2. LCU third baseman settles in, ready to go. Pitch misses high for a ball, and that's the first walk of the ball game for Nick Marshall. So that brings up Luis Navarro, who is 3 for 3, including 2 home runs. And he's driven in 5 in the ball game. Navarro batting from the right side, facing Marshall. Breaking pitch comes on the inside for a strike. This is kind of the battle for Nick Marshall today, as Luis Navarro's had the upper hand in this one. Counts for 5 of the 6 runs LCU's pushed across. Sends this one back up the middle, and diving to come up with it is the Buffs shortstop, but it's still going to be an infield hit for Navarro, as he is aboard his 4th hit of the ball game. You watch this one. Good dive by Madrid. Able to come up with it. Just couldn't get it back in time to make the force out at second base. So Larry Letha comes up. Letha is .333 at the plate. He's 0 for 3 today, though. Shows bunt, and that's going to be a strike. So Letha down in the count, 0-1. Runners at first and second for Lubbock Christian. Again, the Buffs took 3 from Lubbock Christian last year down in Lubbock in a 3-game set. There's a swing coming up empty as Letha. He's down in the count 0-2. He is struck out, grounded out to the shortstop, and flown out to center field today. Letha settles in, ready to go. Batting from the right side. Marshall checks the runner at second base and throws that one outside. There is action in the WT bullpen now. So action in both bullpens here as we work into the 7th inning. Marshall's completed 6. 2 aboard here in the 7th. It's going to be popped up and fouled out of play. Keeps the count at 1-2. Letha settles back in, ready to go. Senior out of center point. Drives this one out to center field. Sliding over there is the Buffs center fielder, Paul Widman, able to get that and gloves it for an out. And that's out number 1. So Letha flies out to center once again.
at number 22, Mason Donahoe.
So Mason Donahoe will make his way up. Donahoe, who grounded out his last at bat and struck out twice today. Donahoe batting from the left side. Off-speed pitch, got him on the inside corner for a strike. Donahoe settles back in, ready to go. Kennedy Badger gets the pitch sent into him from the dugout, looks at the armband and signals it out to Nick Marshall. Marshall checks the runner at second, comes home with it. Fastball just too much inside for a ball. So for Donahoe, the 1-1 pitch. Marshall comes home with it. Fouled off at the plate. So Donahoe down in the count 1-2. Marshall walks his way back to the top of the hill. Marshall getting ready for his 110th pitch of the ball game. Checks the armband. Gets what Kennedy Badgett wants. Settles in, checks the runner at second, then comes home. Off-speed pitch. They check with the umpire out at second base, who said he did not go around on that one. Marshall checks his armband once again, settles back in, ready to go. 2-2 pitch now. Swung on, and that's in for a base hit out into right field. Fenning comes up throwing, and that one will be kind of cut off a little bit by Ortiz. So runners on every base except home right now for Lubbock Christian. Jared Gibson will make his way up, getting ready to face Nick Marshall. Gibson, who was struck out twice and grounded, had a double back in the 6th inning. Infield playing a couple of steps in here with the bases full. Badgett swallows that one up at the plate. So ball one for Jared Gibson. Sophomore from Lubbock settles back in, ready to go, batting from the right side. Takes a cut, comes up empty. That evens the count at 1-1. Mendozano over at third. Navarro at second. Donahoe at first. One out here in the top of the 7th. That's going to be driven out to right field, and that's going to be out of play. Turns into a long strike for Gibson. Was fouled down the right field line. From our angle, it was tough to see. Got a hold of it. It looked like it was going fair territory, but it just curled back foul and out of play. So a 1-2 count for Jared Gibson. Southmore settles in, big open stance. Pitch is outside for a ball. Marshall settles in. So too does Jared Gibson. Pops this one out of play. So Gibson settles back in. First baseman for Lubbock Christian. 2-2 count. Bases are full. Takes a cut, and that fouled it off of him. Leg. Keeps the count at 2-2. Well, those are the ones that kind of make your ankle zing just a little bit. Gibson settles back in, ready. Batting from the right side. Bases are full of Shaps. That one misses on the outside corner. Runs the count full. So 3-2 count on Jared Gibson. Nick Marshall getting ready for the pitch. And that misses outside for ball 4. And that's the second walk of the ball game for Nick Marshall, and that walks in a run. So now Lubbock Christian leads 7-3, and that's going to require a visit to the mound as Mendozona comes home to score. Keeps the bases full of LCU Chaparrals. And Carson Ogilvie will make his way to the plate, but not before a visit out on the mound. And that's probably going to be it for Nick Marshall. And so there will be a pitching change as Marshall is retired here in the top of the 7th inning.
Fans, give it up for Nick Marshall.
As Marshall makes the walk back to the dugout. We'll take a timeout as we get our pitching change in, and we will be back right after that. Right after this timeout on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Welcome to Shimon Dental Group, where every day we're excited to see our patients and treat them like family. We are dedicated to providing you with the highest quality care in a friendly and comfortable environment. Shimon Dental Group's patient-focused philosophy puts your needs front and center.
We are constantly investing in leading-edge technology. Innovations that speed the treatment process and improve aesthetics. We're expanding the breadth of our cosmetic and restorative services through training to provide the best possible outcomes.
Just with the level of commitment that they show to taking care of my family and I, it's absolutely unmatched in this town, so I've been very happy with them.
Brightening smiles for more than 3 decades.
Contact Shimon Dental Group for your appointment today.
Bud Light, proudly brewed
in the heart of Texas.
The best tailgates start with the best beef, and the best beef starts with Market Street. Market Street, where we do beef the best.
Jenkins Doors and Windows began serving the Texas Panhandle in 1927, and we take pride in being a part of your neighborhood. We don't use false promises or gimmicks. We simply offer quality doors and windows at a fair price, and we stand behind every sale. Jenkins is family owned and operated, and proudly continues the traditions of quality and excellence that started over 80 years ago. Call us at 372-4336 or stop by our showroom at 820 West 6th and let our knowledgeable staff help you pick out the perfect.
Well, Chris Rodriguez is in to pitch now for Nick Marshall, his first offering to Carson Ogilvie is a strike. Chris Rodriguez, who has a 1-0 record on the season, has 3 saves for the Buffaloes, pitched in 14 innings. This one's fouled off out of play. So Ogilvie down in the count 0-2. Ogilvie left stranded back at second base back in the 7th inning after getting a board on a hit. He's also flown out, got a board on a bunt, so he's 2 for 3 at the plate today. Drives this one down the third base line, foul and out of play. Keeps the count at 0-2. Rodriguez, who has walked 8, struck out 14. He's allowed a couple of doubles this season and 1 home run. Allowed 3 runs, all 3 earned. And this one's hit out into shallow center for left field, and that'll score a run. As coming in to corral it was Ryan Johnson, but just didn't have any throw. So Ogilvie gets aboard on a hit. Drives in another run. So we watch the replay. Shallow left field. Coming on to come and get it is Johnson, but just kind of bounced weird in front of him, so didn't have a throw to the plate. So that plated Navarro. Keeps the bases full, though. This ball gets by Badgett. Trying to hit down the line at third was Donahoe, and he was told to head back to third base quickly. As Badgett kept out kind of in front of him down the third base line. Can't close the book yet on Nick Marshall. Still accountable for the 2 base runners. He's fouled off at the plate. But Nick Marshall is accountable for the 8 runs that have come across so far for Lubbock Christian. Grant Griffin, who has got a board on a fielder's choice, struck out and grounded out so far this evening. 1-1 count from Chris Rodriguez. He's fouled off at the plate, runs the count to 1-2. Griffin will make his way back into bat from the right side. Bases full. 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. Buffs trail 8-3. Off-speed pitch misses. Runs the count to 2-2. Rodriguez, who checks the wristband, now walks back up the hill as he gets set. Rodriguez ready to go. Swung on, and that is a strikeout. So Rodriguez gets his first strikeout of the ball game. Grant Griffith goes down on strikes. That's out number 2.
Next up at number 1, Caden Hensley.
So Hensley comes up. He was 0 for 3 at the plate, all via the strikeout route today. Hensley's first look at Chris Rodriguez. Lubbock Christian, 8 runs of 13 hits. Left 4 on base so far today. Off-speed pitch, got the outside corner for a strike. Rodriguez gets the signal in from Kennedy Badgett. Works his way back to the pitching rubber. Now ready to go. That's going to be low for a ball. Evens the count at 1-1. Rodriguez works his way over. That one misses for a ball. So 2 balls and a strike with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning. Chris Rodriguez on in relief. 8-3. Lubbock Christian with the lead. Action in the Lubbock Christian bullpen. That's fouled off at the plate down the third base line. So 2-2 in the count for Caden Hensley. Hensley, who played at Midland College before transferring up to Lubbock Christian, his hometown. Settles back in, ready to go, batting from the left side. Rodriguez is ready, and that's swung on and strike 3.
That's another Scarborough specialty strikeout.
So that ends the top of the 7th inning, but Lubbock Christian able to get 2 runs on 2 hits.
That's 2 runs, 3 hits, 0 errors, and 3 left
No
on
errors,
base.
and 3 left on base. We have played 6.5. Lubbock Christian up 8-3. We'll take a timeout. We'll do so and come back for the bottom of the 7th inning. But first, this break on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Welcome to Shimon Dental Group, where every day we're excited to see our patients and treat them like family. We are dedicated to providing you with the highest quality care in a friendly and comfortable environment. Shimon Dental Group's patient-focused philosophy puts your needs front and center.
We are constantly investing in leading-edge technology. Innovations that speed the treatment process and improve aesthetics. We're expanding the breadth of our cosmetic and restorative services through training to provide the best possible outcomes.
Just with the level of commitment that they show to taking care of my family and I, it's absolutely unmatched in this town, so I've been very happy with them.
Brightening smiles for more than 3 decades.
Contact Shimon Dental Group for your appointment today.
Bud Light, proudly brewed
in the heart of Texas.
So we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Buffaloes trail 8-3 to the Chaparrals. And again, Buffs in the top spot in Lone Star Conference play. The Chaps are in 3rd behind Angelo State. And this an important series, the first of 4 games here in Canyon. And a new pitcher for Lubbock Christian will be Peyton Houston.
Bus number 30, Ryan Johnson.
Ryan Johnson will lead things off. Hudson. A junior from Odessa. Played at Midland College. 6'4", 220-pound right-hander. First pitch for Ryan Johnson is a ball. Hudson has his pitch driven down the left field line, but fouling out of play. Johnson got all the way around on that one. Just could not keep it fair. So that evens the count at 1-1. Johnson, so far today, has a home run. He's grounded out into a 6-4-3 double play back in the first. It was hit by a pitch and left stranded at third base back in the 5th. Johnson settles back in, ready to go. Sends this one past the second baseman for a base hit, so Johnson is aboard with a hit. So leadoff single for Ryan Johnson. And that'll bring up Kennedy Badgett.
Number 16, Kennedy Badgett.
As we watch this hit, diving second baseman just couldn't come up with a good effort that time by Hensley. Just couldn't come up with it, though. So Kennedy, who has singled twice today and was hit by a pitch, has been aboard all 3 times. Looks at a pitch outside for a ball. Peyton, who has a 5-0 record on the season for Lubbock Christian. This is his 27th inning of work. That pitch is inside for a ball. Peyton has allowed 22 hits this season. He's allowed 12 runs, all of them earned. Walked 13, struck out 35. 35, that is, on the season. Badgett looks at a strike on the inside part of the plate. So 2 balls and a strike for the Buffalo catcher. Settles back in, batting from the right side. Johnson over at first base. Badgett looks at strike 2. So 2-2 count for Hudson. Hudson with a 4.15 earned run average on the season. Badgett ready to go. It's going to be outside for a ball. So Badgett runs the count full at 3-2. Buffalo's trying to answer back here in the bottom of the 7th. And that's it, right back up the middle. Second baseman comes up with it and able to get another double play, the 4th double play of the ball game for Lubbock Christian, as Badgett is retired 4-6-3. So we watch the replay on this one. Again, hit towards the second baseman, and coming up with it nicely is Hensley over to Ogilvie on to Gibson in time for the putout. So just like that, what looked promising here in the 7th, the Buffs are down with 2 outs, and that'll bring up Adam Becker. Becker batting from the right side. First pitch is a pop to the shortstop, and he is retired. First pitch swinging, 6-3. So the Buffs, no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and no one left on base. We have played 7 complete, and Lubbock Christian with the 8-3 lead over West Texas A&M. We'll take a time. I'll be back for the top of the 8th right after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Just completed my academic courses, so now I am starting my research at West Texas A&M University, trying to find out the export of sorghum from United States to China. I cannot express properly how helpful they are. I am proud to be a WT student.
Apply to West Texas A&M University right now at wtamu.edu/apply.
As we go to the top of the 8th, Buffaloes trail 8-3. Chris Rodriguez comes out for another inning of work. He came in relief of Nick Marshall. Marshall went 6 1/3 innings and allowed the 8 runs on 12 of 13 hits. Walked a couple, and he struck out 11 in the ball game. Chris Rodriguez. First pitch is inside to Eduardo Acosta. Acosta, 370 at the plate. Eduardo batting from the right side. His first opportunity to face Chris Rodriguez today. Drives this one out into right field. Will Finning back, able to pull that one in at the warning track. So Acosta is out on a fly out to right field for out number 1. So the third baseman comes up for Lubbock Christian, George Mendozona. Mendozona today has struck out, singled twice and scored twice. Also walked once and scored. So his last 3 at-bats, he's come around to plate a run for Lubbock Christian. He looks at ball 1, first offering from Chris Rodriguez, his first opportunity to face Chris. Rodriguez, that's on the outside corner for a strike. Mendozona batting from the left side. Settles back in, ready to go. Pops this one up, and it's going to be toward Madrid at short. He's able to pull that one in for out number 2. So Mendozona's retired. That'll bring up Luis Navarro.
At bat number 21, Luis Navarro.
Navarro is 4 for 4 at the plate today, as he has driven in 5 runs on 2 home runs. He's had 2 singles. He's also scored a run. Scored 3 times, I should say, in addition. Navarro batting from the right side. First pitch on the inside part of the plate is a ball. Navarro settles back in, ready to go. We started this ball game as there's a strike that breaks on the inside part of the plate. Wind was coming out of the north-northwest at 21, and right now the flag is limp out in left field. So the wind has died down considerably since the start of the ball game. Outside corner misses for a ball. Navarro. So 2-1 the count on Luis. Yeah, the wind's dropped down to 9 miles an hour right now. Check swing. So that evens the count at 2-2. Started out the game at 57. It's dropped down to 50 degrees now. Still not a bad night in Canyon, especially with the wind that has died down. So Navarro will settle back in, 2-2 count. 2 outs here in the top of the 8th inning. And swinging and coming up empty. Navarro. Throw down to first base in time. So Navarro is retired for the first time in the ball game. He's out number 3. So no runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. First 1-2-3 inning in a while for the Buffs in this ball game. And so we go to the bottom of the 8th. Buffs trailing 8-3. We'll take a timeout and be back for the bottom of the 8th right after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
best tailgates start with the best beef, and the best beef starts with Market Street. Market Street, where we do beef the best.
Jenkins Doors and Windows began serving the Texas Panhandle in 1927, and we take pride in being a part of your neighborhood. We don't use false promises or gimmicks. We simply offer quality doors and windows at a fair price, and we stand behind every sale. Jenkins is family owned and operated, and proudly continues the traditions of quality and excellence that started over 80 years ago. Call us at 372-4336 or stop by our showroom at 820 West 6th and let our knowledgeable staff help you pick out the perfect doors and windows for your home.
Well, the Buffs trailing in this one 8-3 as Lubbock Christian 8 runs on 13 hits. The Buffs 3 runs on 12 hits is what the official scorebook has them, although the scoreboard shows 11 hits on that one. And Peyton Hudson comes out for his second inning of work, and he'll face Will Finning, Eric Ortiz, and Nolan Kuhn. 5, 6, and 7 in the Buffalo lineup for this evening. Again, this is the first of 4 games against the Chaparrals. Finning settles in, batting from the right side. Will have singled, struck out, and grounded out. And looks at a strike. So Finning's first look at Peyton Hudson. And that just misses, almost the same pitch on the inside part of the plate, but misses. Even the count at 1-1. Finning out of Scottsdale, Arizona, settles in, batting from the right side. Slow roller hit towards the third baseman. It's factually fouled at the plate. So runs the count to 1-2 for Finning. So Finning will settle back in, ready to go. So Hudson's 1-2 pitch on the way. It's going to be fouled down the right field line and out of play. Keeps the count at 1-2. The junior settles in for the Buffs, ready to go from the right side. Oh, and got hit. That came in hard and hit Finning. See, will make his way down to first base. It's one of those sometimes you kind of anticipated that one. He did not anticipate getting hit by a pitch.
Number 25, Eric Ortiz.
So Ortiz comes up. He is grounded out to the first baseman. He's hit into a 6-4-3 double play and is struck out. First pitch swinging, fouls it off at the plate. So Ortiz down in the count, 0-1. Nice night here at Canyon. Buffs trailing 8-3. And the wind has died down considerably from beginning of the ball game. Off-speed pitch misses. So Peyton Hudson ready for his next offering for Eric Ortiz. Outside for a ball. So 2 balls and a strike for the Buffalo first baseman. Ortiz settles back in, ready to go. Still action in the Lubbock Christian bullpen. Inside corner, called for a strike on Ortiz. Evens the count at 2-2. Buffs with Will Finning on at first base, hit by a pitch. And Finning is safe at second base as the throw from the catcher. And Ortiz runs the count full at 3-2. So Finning makes his way to second base as they got away from the catcher, Navarro. And the throw to second looked like on time, but the shortstop just fell off the bag at second. And this is drilled to right center field, and that may be out of here. Ortiz has already taken the home run shot. As Eric Ortiz gets a hold of that one and gives it a ride. And got a pitch right where he wanted it in his wheelhouse. And cuts the lead to 8-5 now. As Ortiz able to get a hold of that Peyton Hudson offering. And just watch this one as he just gets a good extension on the swing. And kind of knew it from the start of the trot. He knew that one was gone. As he got to run the base pass and come around to cut the lead to 8-5. Bring up Nolan Kuhn. Pitch is inside for Nolan. Kuhn is singled and doubled. Also grounded out today. Those two hits. His first opportunity. Sends this one fouling out of play. So his first opportunity to face Peyton Hudson. So the sophomore from Yukon, Oklahoma settles back in, ready to go. Outside, that misses for a ball. Runs the count to 2 balls and a strike. Isaiah Madrid in the on-deck circle for the Buffs. Kuhn fouls this one off at the plate. That evens the count at 2-2. So Kuhn works his way back into the batter's box, batting from the left side. Just making sure with the home plate umpire, the count's 2-2. Peyton throws way inside. That runs the count full at 3-2. So Kuhn settles back in, ready to go. Peyton has this one hit back towards the shortstop on a couple of hops. Sidearms it over to first base in time. And a nice play by Ogilvie for out number 1 as Kuhn is retired 6-3. That'll bring up Isaiah Madrid.
And that's number 0, Isaiah Madrid.
So Madrid will work his way back into the batter's box. Isaiah so far today get into a double play. His first at bat. Round out to the third baseman. And got a board on a walk back in the 7th. That's going to be high for a ball. Paul Whitman in the on-deck circle. Isaiah settles back in, batting from the right side, big open stance. Sends this one towards the second baseman and past him for a single out into right field. So Madrid gets aboard.
Number 32, Paul Whitman.
Watch this hit, goes past the second baseman out into right field, and so Madrid aboard. Paul Whitman comes up. He grounded out to the second baseman back in the third. Got aboard on a single in the fifth and scored, and then got aboard on a fielder's choice in the sixth. Whitman batting from the left side. First pitch swinging, comes up empty. Freshman Best settles back in, ready to go. Batting from the left side. Hudson taking a little longer between pitches now. That's going to be outside for a ball. Hudson walks off the circle and heads down to grab the rosin bag before he heads back up to the pitching rubber. Takes a long look at his battery mate Navarro. Gets the set he wants. Pitch is low for a ball. Action in the Lubbock bullpen. Whitman settles back in, batting from the left side, ready to go. Facing Hudson. Takes a cut, comes up empty. So that evens the count at 2-2. Runner aboard is Madrid over at first base. And Whitman takes a cut, kind of pulls the bat back, and he is a strikeout victim. That's out number 2. So we go to the top of the order for the Buffaloes, Eddie Savoy.
Number 8, Eddie Savoy.
Savoy settles in, batting from the right side. Got aboard on a fielder's choice back in the 6th. Was hit by a pitch and scored in the 5th. Grounded out to the first baseman in the 3rd and got aboard on a single to lead off bottom half of the 1st. 1-0 pitch. Inside corner for a strike. Evens the count at 1-1. Savoy settles back in, ready to go. Batting from the right side. Off-speed pitch he was out in front of. So a 1-2 count for Savoy with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Savoy choking up just a bit on the bat, ready to go. Sends this one down the third baseline, foul and out of play. Getting the Buffs back in the 6th. Had runners tried to score. They were thrown out at home plate. One by the left fielder and one by the center fielder. They thought they might have a little bit of a rally going back in the 6th. Savoy out in front. That off-speed pitch, and he's a strikeout victim for out number 3. So the Buffs get a couple of runs on 2 hits. No errors in the inning and 1 left on base. We have played 8 complete. The Buffs cut into the lead, but they still trail 8-5. We'll take a timeout and be back from the top of the 9th right after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
This is a walk-on athlete. They train longer, put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Well, Chris Rodriguez out for his third inning of work. As we go to the top of the ninth, it'll be Larry Lithall, followed by Mason Donahoe and Jared Gibson to lead things off for Lubbock Christian. So the center fielder will work his way up into the batter's box. Litha struck out, is grounded out. It's a foul on his first offering from Chris Rodriguez here in the ninth. He's also flown out to center field twice. This is his fifth at bat. Larry settles back in, ready to go. Batting for the right side, open stance, facing Chris Rodriguez. That's going to be fouled off out of play. So the Lubbock Christian center fielder is down in the count 0-2. Batting from the right side, settles in, ready to go. That's going to be high for a ball. So 1-2 count on Larry Litha. Donahoe in deck. Donahoe the DH for today. That pitch is outside. Evens the count at 2-2. Rodriguez, who came on in relief for Nick Marshall back in the seventh. Fastball is just a little high for a ball. Runs the count full at 3-2. So the Lubbock Christian center fielder settles back in. Pops this one fouling out of play down the left field line. I think it was hit toward the Buffalo bullpen area. So Litha with a .330 batting average. Leading off here in the top of the ninth. It's .552 batting average when he does lead off, but this time he strikes out.
That's a Scarborough specialty strikeout.
And that's the third strikeout of the ball game for Chris Rodriguez. The Buffs have had 14 strikeouts in this game, and they trail 8-5. You watch this replay. Just a good outside fastball that Litha couldn't catch up with. So that brings up Mason Donahoe, the DH. Donahoe has struck out twice, grounded out, and had a hit back in the seventh inning. Donahoe, .363 at the plate. Batting from the left side, settles in for the 0-1 pitch. That's a strike in there for strike two. Jared Gibson in the on-deck circle. Lubbock Christian leads at 8-5. Top of the ninth inning. That's drilled down the right field line, fouling out of play. Lubbock Christian, 8 runs, 13 hits. They've left 7 on base in this ball game so far. WT, 5 runs on 14 hits. They've left 8 on base. And swinging and coming up empty is Donahoe. So back-to-back strikeouts for Chris Rodriguez. His fourth strikeout of the ball game. Again, just a great fastball as Donahoe just couldn't catch up to it, right at the numbers. So that brings up Jared Gibson. Gibson first cut, took a big swing, came up empty. Gibson, who walked, hit a double, and he struck out twice today. Gibson batting .358. Takes another cut, comes up empty, down in the count 0-2. Gibson, who doubled back in the sixth and came around to score. Settles in, batting from that right side. Rodriguez misses outside for a ball. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 outs here in the top of the ninth. Rodriguez gets the pitch, works his way back up to the top of the hill. And that's foul tipped and caught. And so that is 3 strikeouts in the inning for Chris Rodriguez. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody on base. We have played 8.5. The Buffs got some work to do as we head to the bottom of the ninth. They trail Lubbock Christian 8-5. We're back after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Just completed my academic courses, so now I am starting my research at West Texas A&M University, trying to find out the export of sorghum from United States to China. I cannot express properly how helpful they are. I am proud to be a WT student.
Apply to West Texas A&M University right now at wtamu.edu/apply.
We go to the bottom of the ninth. The Buffs trail 8-5 as the Buffs have 8 runs. Lubbock Christian 8 runs on 13 hits. The Buffs 5 runs on 14 hits. And we go for Ryan Johnson to lead things off, which he did in the 7th inning. Got a board on a single. Been hit by a pitch, hit a home run. That one was way inside for a ball. And he also hit into a double play. Johnson batting .426, batting from the right side. Looks at a pitch low for a ball. Peyton Hudson in for his 3rd inning of relief. Hudson ready. That's going to be drilled down the third base line, but fouling out of play. Runs the count 2 balls and a strike. Ryan Johnson ready to go, batting from the right side. That pitch comes inside and misses for a ball. Hudson, who has struck out 2, but also allowed a home run in his 2 innings of relief so far. that time, lugs Johnson in the back, and Ryan makes his way down to first base. So another hit batsman. We've had, I believe, 6 in the ball game so far. And we watch this one just way on the inside and at the back shoulder of Ryan Johnson. So Johnson down at first base. And that brings up Kennedy Badgett. Badgett hitting .359. Pitches on the inside part of the plate. Johnson didn't see that get away from Luis Navarro. And that's going to require a visit to the mound as that one came way inside too. So we're just going to check with Peyton Hudson to make sure he's still feeling good out there. We check still action in the Lubbock bullpen. Lubbock got 3 runs in the first. The Buffs answer with 1 in the bottom, 3 runs in the third. They answer with 1 in the bottom of the third to make it 3-1. Both teams scored twice in the fifth, make it 5-3. Lubbock Christian scored in the sixth, make it 6-3. 2 in the seventh, make it 8-3, and the Buffs answer with 2 in the bottom of the eighth, make it 8-5. So the 1-0 count for Kennedy Badgett from Peyton Hudson. Outside corner misses for ball 2. Good crowd on hand for this one today. Good crowd from Lubbock, obviously made the drive up. Good crowd for the Buffs as well. Rather vocal in this one. Inside misses. So that runs the count to 3-0. You expect Kennedy to be taking all the way on this one. Runner at first base, Ryan Johnson. After he was hit by a pitch. Got a strike on the inside part of the plate. So 3 balls and a strike for the Buffalo catcher. Adam Becker in the on-deck circle for the Buffs. Drilled out to the shortstop, and he's a quick throw over to first base, not in time, as he was able to hop up and pull that one in. So Badgett lines out to the shortstop for out number 1.
Next at the plate for the Buffs, number 22, Adam Becker.
So that brings up Adam Becker. So Becker makes his way up. Becker, who has singled, flown out to center field, had a border on a fielder's choice, and grounded out to the shortstop. Settles back in, ready to go. Pitch on the inside part of the play misses for a ball. Buffs trailing 8-5. They got a base runner aboard. 1 out here in the bottom of the ninth. Peyton Hudson working in his 3rd inning of relief for Tyler Hardwick. That one's fouled off and out of play. Hardwick went 6 innings. He allowed 11 hits and 3 runs. Walked 1 and struck out 2. Peyton Hudson's been on in relief. Peyton has allowed 3 hits, 2 runs. Hudson misses low on that one. Runs the count to 2-1. Becker again got aboard with a single back in the first. Becker ready to go, and this one's hit towards the shortstop. Bobbles it up to second in time for one. It is a 6-4-3 double play. That is the 5th double play of the ball game, as the Buffs will fall in this one by a final of 8-5. No runs for the Buffs on a hit. Or check it, no runs on no hits, no one left on base, and no errors in the inning. And that is going to be the ball game as the Lubbock Christian Chaparrals come away with an 8-5 win over West Texas A&M. We want to take a timeout. We'll do so, and we'll come back and recap this one again. A big win for the Chaparrals today in this contest as they improve to 23-8 on the season and 21-8 in Lone Star Conference play, while the Buffs fall to 25-6 and 23-6 in conference play. We'll take a timeout and be back to wrap things up here from Walter Park, but first this break on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Welcome to Shimon Dental Group, where every day we're excited to see our patients and treat them like family. We are dedicated to providing you with the highest quality care in a friendly and comfortable environment. Shimon Dental Group's patient-focused philosophy puts your needs front and center.
We are constantly investing in leading-edge technology. Innovations that speed the treatment process and improve aesthetics. We're expanding the breadth of our cosmetic and restorative services through training to provide the best possible outcomes.
Just with the level of commitment that they show to taking care of my family and I, it's absolutely unmatched in this town, so I've been very happy with them.
Brightening smiles for more than 3 decades.
Contact Shimon Dental Group for your appointment today.
Bud Light, proudly brewed
in the heart of Texas.
Well, for Lubbock Christian, they get a big important win in Game 1 of this set against West Texas A&M. As they come away with an 8-5 win, Lubbock Christian scored 3 in the 3rd, 2 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, and 2 in the 7th. The Buffs were able to get 1 across in the 3rd, 2 in the 5th, and 2 in the 8th, but fall in this one 8-5 of the first game of this 4-game set. The winner, Tyler Hardwick, picks up the win. He improves to 1-1 on the season. Coming into this one, he improves to 2-1 on the season as he picks up the win. Peyton Hudson came in relief. And so, big win for Lubbock Christian. And again, in this 4-game set, they're trying to kind of gain some ground on the Buffaloes here as they are in 3rd place in the Lone Star Conference. Big, interesting contest, the big action today for Lubbock Christian facing the Buffs' ace, Nick Marshall, is the fact that it was Luis Navarro who did all the damage early in this one. Navarro got a single in the 1st, got a 3-run home run in the 3rd, a 2-run home run in the 5th, also got a hit in the 7th. He was 4 of 5 at the plate today and played 5 runs in this one. Nick Marshall, other than Navarro, really pitched well, pitched 6 1/3 innings. He allowed 7 hits, and he allowed 8 runs. He walked 2, and he struck out 11 in this one today. But again, it was Navarro that did the damage and had those 5 RBIs to pace Lubbock Christian in this one today. These two will go at it tomorrow, of course, and the scheduled starters right now, Maddox Hoagland for the Buffaloes and Ethan Combs for Lubbock Christian are the ones scheduled to start for game number 2, and that'll get underway with first pitch at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Of course, we'll play 2 tomorrow, and so the second game will follow about 20 minutes or so after the first game. But for the Buffaloes, this one, they got offense, but just didn't get it timely in this one. And Lubbock Christian thanks their catcher, Luis Navarro, for setting the table for their win 8-5 today over the Buffaloes. Again, Lubbock Christian improves to 23-8 on the season, 21-8 in Lone Star Conference play, while the Buffs fall to 25-6 and 23-6 in LSC play. Your Thunder Vision crew to help bring this one, Jaden Jennings, Jordan, and Emma running cameras in this one. We saw Chris also helping out on camera just a little bit maybe today. Of course, Jacob Griffin doing the pushing the buttons, engineering, to make sure everything goes well in this broadcast. Again, our final tonight from Wilder Park. The Buffaloes fall in this one 8-5 to Lubbock Christian. We'll have our first pitch tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Will come your way right here on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.